Guys, welcome to episode number 14 of the Derby Premier Life, and to start off this episode, we're only just above the relegation zone. However, the teams around us have actually played an extra game, so if we do win the game against West Ham or Newcastle that we do have coming up, we should be able to go up the table quite nicely. Obviously the teams at the bottom, Stoke, Forest and Palace, you know, there's a bit of a gap on them, but would be nice to just extend that a bit further, because 5 points, you know, with Europa League as well. So what we're going to do is look to sign a defender, since we have conceded 53 goals. Probably filling in that gap is what we should do to improve the team, really. I've also thought maybe it's a central defensive midfielder thing. Although Shinny's good, maybe getting somebody closer to an 80 mark in the midfield might be better. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm going to give Bielik a go in the next game against West Ham as well, because we did quite well with this defence against Sheffield Wednesday, which I know isn't exactly much of a challenge, but yeah, I'm sure defensively as well, just having Jimenez up front just to take some of the pressure away. Yeah, I think maybe just going a like-for-like winger for Wilson. That might be best to do, because I'm really not enjoying playing with him. He hasn't really contributed much as well. So yeah, we'll probably, let's go into the transfer hub to see what defenders we've got, since that's what we need to get first. I still think someone like Tomiyasu would be quite helpful, but he's quite similar to what we've already got. I feel like maybe getting somebody with like a bit of experience, you know, 26 years old Jack O'Connell here, or John Egan, or Tyrone Mings, somebody like that. Tyrone Mings is 6'5", of course. Does he have the injury prone trait? Dives into tackles. He would be very good, it's just whether we can afford him or not, that's the only question. Because the thing is with Wilson, I can't actually sell Wilson to get money. I have to, maybe we can actually now, we'll have a look if we can transfer list him, but I think we're going to just have to use him as a swap deal thing. Another thing to consider as well is Rooney and I think Curtis Davis are both retiring at the end of the season. It seems as soon as you get to 35 the game goes, but we better retire those, although Carson is still available. I think just having somebody tall at fullback does definitely help. Castagnac has helped, but maybe somebody who's slightly stronger and slightly better at tackling. Doesn't have the best tackling stats, but he's only 20, so I can easily boost those stats up for him, of course. Maybe someone like Sissoko in midfield, you know, just a big midfielder, just to stop the team, you know, getting all the pressure on it. So yeah, we've got a few options. We could always swap Wilson for Sissoko. It's about the same kind of value, but I feel like we need to keep the kind of balance we've got and maybe look somebody like Moses Simon, for example. I think that would be a good swap deal, or maybe even Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid. The only thing about him is he's quite similar to Harry Wilson. He's essentially the same style of players, so I really liked Moses Simon. I think it was, I don't know if it was last year's career mode or the career mode before, but yeah, I remember using this guy in the past, and he was absolutely fantastic. So let's go into approach to sign him. He's got ridiculous pace, pretty good strength as well for a guy that's 5'6", and he can play pretty much anywhere behind the back striker, and even at strike he'd do a job. So yeah, we'll put Harry Wilson. He is worth more than Moses Simon, so it should, yeah, if we can get this cash literally down to 0, that would be pretty good. We'll put 100 quid in, just to see if they're being nice, and they are actually being nice, so we've literally done a swap deal, like for like. Obviously Wilson is one rating higher, but Moses Simon just, you know, 96 pace is just ridiculous. 89 jumping as well, really good dribbling. So yeah, let's go into the contract stage. Again, contract wise, I think Wilson's on about 45k wages, whereas Simon's on, I think he's on about 23k. So, you know, it's just an absolute golfing difference in terms of price. See, this is the annoying bit, because he's coming to a bigger league. I'm going to just match what he's currently got. thinking a 200k signing on bonus just to be nice. I'm hoping they don't get offended by these wages. And yeah, we're pretty close. I think if we just get rid of that appearance bonus, I'll be pretty happy to sign that. Oh, his wage has gone up a little bit, so we'll try and knock it down to 24.5 would be quite nice. There we go, they've accepted the 24.5k, and there's another signing in this transfer window. Did say I was going to get a defender, but then I thought, let's get somebody like for Wilson, and basically just give us a better impact player, really, because the thing is about this team is I need more of a left midfielder, if anything, because Yarmolenko is getting a bit on now. His stamina isn't exactly great. I think he's only got about 50. Yeah, 50 stamina. Because he's over 30, basically, the game goes, you know what, you're not going to be good anymore. And yeah, Moses Simon is pretty much the perfect replacement in terms of... he's still got a lot of the factors that Yarmolenko has. Obviously, Yarmolenko has the height. But as a really good left midfielder, I think Moses Simon will be great. So I'm going to go into the West Ham game, see how the defence does. I still don't know. I think we'll just wait and see for the scout reports to come back. What will be best for us to do? I think we'll go for our alternate kit since we are away from home. Here we are then at the London Stadium against West Ham. It should be quite an interesting game. Obviously, Yarmolenko against his former club. Decided not to go Simon from the start just because obviously Yarmolenko's against his old club. They've got a 4-1-4-1, Roberto in goal, Tete, Acerbi, Bartra and Jonas Hector, then Wilfred and Didi, Elzen, Felipe Anderson out wide, then Fornals and Grilic, I think that's his name. I'll know as soon as the commentator says it, and Haller up front. It's a very good team, and I think we did beat him in the last game, if I'm not mistaken. Chance here with Haller on the edge of the box. Finesses it into my defender. Rebounds into the other attacker, and it is into the back of the net in the first 5 minutes. It's a pretty... In terms of signings, I think there's only really Roberto, the goalkeeper, Haller and Felipe Anderson, who are original West Ham players. The rest of them are all computer signs. Oh, and Fornals as well. But yeah, really unlucky from the defender there. Ellis does put it into the back of the net. Chance here for Jimenez to run at this West Ham defence. Gone into the box now with the shot and a penalty. That's, you know, I do like doing that, just baiting the defender out, and maybe even a red card. It is a red card for Mark Bartra, the former Barca man. And now, I think Yarmolenko's got the best penalties. Oh, Jimenez does have a lot better. I don't know, do I get Yarmolenko to score against his old club? Yeah, sure. He should be able to score a penno. Or not. I'm just terrible at penalties. I just can't... I can't seem to score them. Wherever I go, the computer just seems to go. It's just so annoying. Chance here for Jimenez. Gets himself into the box on his weaker foot with the shot. And with the goal, does get that equaliser for us, and that's exactly what we want from our strikers. Just a really good finish on his weaker foot. Good bit of skill just to get the yard of space, and keeper can't stop it. Chance here for Jimenez if he can outpace Acerbi, who's pretty decent but not the fastest. Now can he finish? Yes, he can. You see, that is what we need. We need that. I think I did exactly the same scenario with Marriott and he missed it, so really good goal from Jimenez, and that should be 3 points against the 10 men of West Ham. There we go, full time against West Ham, a good 3 points. I'd say that's a clean sheet really, because their first goal was, you know, it was pretty lucky. It was a long shot out of nothing and then just trickles the attacker, so I'd say that was a pretty perfect game for us. Into a bit of training, and we have got Jayden Bogle to a 77 rated fullback. That's good to see. I don't really want to get rid of Lowe and Bogle because them and Marriott are the only real first team players, and we have actually got a message here from Marriott. You see, I still need to get games with Marriott because I kind of want to keep using him because he has got 13 goals for us so far this season. So yeah, it's one of those of keeping the balance of the squad. Obviously, we've got no Europa League until the next month. But then again, I think I may need to make a few changes for this next game against Newcastle due to fitness. Although maybe not. Maybe Yarmolenko, but other than that, not too many. So I've just got the message that the scout reports have been finished. So let's have a quick look on the transfer hub. Vagnomen is 70 rated. He's a good backup. That's what he is. You know, 2 million release clause. Financially, it makes sense to sign players like these. They were quite good suggestions. Just as backup, you know, in terms of developing for the future. Very pacey, very strong, 6'2". Just really poor defending stats. You know, 60 slide tackling and 66 standing. It's one of those where it's probably worth doing because we do need a backup fullback, or maybe getting somebody with a better quality. So we've got the scout reports back here for Vagnomen and Cochrane, both very good, 70-ish rated, and you know, not bad stats for a player that's worth 2 million, and pretty low wages. In terms of backup fullback, he's probably a good shout as well. I don't think we're going to get many better options. Obviously, we've got Diego Rico there from Bournemouth. There's a bit of a better quality, but you know, for 2 million quid for a player that we could probably train up to Diego Rico's quality, it might be worth the punt. Because I feel defensively in that game we're really good. I think the only thing is that bit of luck that West Ham got with that long shot. So yeah, we'll go into Vagnomen and pay the release clause of 2 million. I think that's a great price for a 20-year-old 70 rated fullback, and go into the contract. So far this deal's been looking pretty good. I'm interested to see if they come in with the wages though. They haven't. I think if we go for... I want to go under his current wage, to be honest. We'll go at 70k and 7k wages and 70k sign non-bonus. Not quite what they're looking for. If we can remove that bonus and, you know, 10k wages, yeah, I'm more than happy with that. So, you know, as a backup player, he's not bad to have, just to cover some areas in the team, because we were a bit thin on numbers. Not the most amazing transfer in the world, but it's a nice solid player, you know, just 6'2", 90 pace, pretty good physical. I just need to get him into training and get those defending stats up, because they're not exactly great. Yeah, now in terms of numbers, all we got to do is improve. We don't need any players that are just backup now, like Vagnomen. Into the game then at St James's Park against Newcastle United. Probably will use the blue kit for this game, and give them their stripes, of course. Gonna have to make a few changes due to fitness. I think Jimenez has to stay up front, but then we'll go for Moses Simon on the left, and I might try him off the bench, you know. I think maybe Phil Max low, just because later on in the games I think maybe Bogle or Kasnag will need the rest. Here's the Newcastle team then for today's game. They've gone for a 5-3-2, which we do tend to struggle against. So Matt Ritchie at left wing back, Manquillo, Lascelles and Lejeune, and Shaw as the back three, Dubravka in goal, Shelvey and Longstaff. Then they've got Benat from, I think, Sevilla, or maybe Bilbao, one of those Spanish teams anyway. And then Almiron and Jolinton up top. Very pacey and very strong strikers, to be fair. Simon with the ball inside to Oscar. Goes to his legs, now into Jimenez. Touches it around the defender nicely on the volley, but saved by the keeper. Now into Oscar and into the back of the net. But unfortunately offside, but very good start. Very pacey and quick moving football. I do hate corners, they're so random. Literally, I could say corner coming in about 4,000 times, but it's that time that it does go in. It's really annoying. I think that is now it's Jolinton, the striker, who's only got 3 goals this season. So yeah, it's just one of those where corners are very random and there's no real way of preventing them or scoring them. Chance here on the box with Jolinton. It's dinked into the back post. Keeper's not dealt with it, and it's that's really poor. That shouldn't be happening. I think it's our play that's headed it down for him. It's like I've gone for a clearance and it's just laid it off for him to score into the open net. I'm not too sure what Newbill's doing either. But yeah, it was a really nice dink, to be fair. Was that my player? I looked at it there and I still wasn't too sure who actually hit that. Yeah, it was Will Hughes. But the header's that bad, it's just literally laid it off for Almiron for literally a free goal, and now it's going to be very difficult to get anything from this. It's actually Manquillo, the right wing back. Ball through here. It's not dealt by Hughes, and it is into the back of the net. I think that is Longstaff with the goal to make it 3-0. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like when it's that quick from St. Maxim and you've got the runner, there's not much I can really do. You know, Hughes could have been a bit stronger. Keeper could have maybe saved it with his feet, but it is Sean Longstaff with the goal. We've just made 3 changes as well, bringing on, gone for a 4-4-2 basically, just to see how it does. So this is no loss. I think it's basically when we play against this 5-3-2, we really do struggle. So yeah, I'll see Wagnerman at right back, Marriott up top, and Van Bergen on the left. Van Bergen with the ball here. Hasn't really got anyone in the middle to aim for though. Try and pull it back to Jimenez. Turns man nicely now with the shot, saved by Dubravka. And honestly, we've been a little bit better since going to 4-4-2, but it's still been not great. There we go, full time against Newcastle, 3-0 loss at St James's Park. I think it's mainly the 5-3-2. We just really do struggle against it. I think this goal here for Moses Simon could have really helped us in, you know, winning this game, but unfortunately it was offside from Oscar, I think. Ooh, one thing I've not considered is pre-contracts for next season, and this message has just told me that. Obviously there is kind of the unlimited money glitch you can do with pre-contracts that we kind of exploited last season to get like Oscar, Woolley, Castagne and Nubel, because at the minute I'm kind of happy with the squad that we've got. I don't think there's anything, you know, we did lose that game 3-0, but I don't think there's much I can really do about that. Plus we have got Tomori coming back, who will be like another signing when he does eventually get back to fitness. I think with the money that we've got, there's not really much I can do with permanent signings, so it's mainly loans if we are going to get anything. Between now and the end of this transfer window, I'm trying to think what we could actually do. Still a bit of time left, but not much. You see, in that last game, there was only probably one goal that was probably down to me. You know, the corner goal from a header, can't really do much about that. But yeah, I thought I'd give Bielik a bit of a run out, just because obviously Saliba's alone, same with Tomori, so trying to get off proper first team players more game time is probably better to do. Yeah, he's still very good, you know, 81 strength, and can grow in stats if we get him into a bit of training as well. So I think I'm going to just look through my transfer hub just to see if there's anything I can actually get on loan, because I don't think we've got the money to really... you see, we could get one of these strikers, like this Esposito guy, for example, who's not... I just don't see the point in signing him, really, when you look at those stats. You know, he's got good ball control and he's quite tall, but there's nothing really amazing there. See, Cochrane at 2.3 million at 70 rated, you can play pretty much anywhere in the midfield, is not a bad shout. He only got 45 strength though, that's not great. I don't think I can really use that in the Premier League. Yeah, as a midfielder you kind of need at least a bit of strength. Could also look at the Sissoko guy here. Pretty cheap wages, but we'd need about another 6 million from somewhere to afford him. I think if we look at players under 21, then we can get a good idea of what we could realistically get on loan. That's probably something I could look at as well. Like Piccoli, for example, is not a bad shout at 70 rated, 19 years old. Not bad, you know, 72 finishing's pretty decent for a 70 rated player. Same with Kubo as well, we could look to get on loan. So yeah, I think I'm going to just look in between the two episodes just to see what we could do with our remaining money, because we don't have much left. And we don't exactly need anything, you know, we've got a striker, we got Simon for Wilson, and we got the new left back / right back in Wagnerman. I think he's really good. Like, I played a few minutes with him. If I can just get him into training and get the defending stats up, which are only in the 60s at the minute, get those up to the high 70s, then we've got a pretty good player on our hands. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, but there's still things we need to do. I think as well we've got to consider away games we're not going to win, and home games we're going to win, and that's generally what's been happening. You know, we lost away at Newcastle, we managed to scrape the win against West Ham. City, you're not going to get anything from. Sheffield Wednesday, we quite comfortably won. You know, I know we're not doing amazingly, but I think we're doing good enough to, you know, I think we're good enough to keep in the Premier League this season. That's all we really wanted. So, yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. We're currently in 13th, you know, that's pretty good. 8 points clear of Crystal Palace in the relegation zone. So, yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like rating if you did enjoy, and see you soon. Bye.